speakers here. Jorge? Here. My name is Jim Rouse. It's your loss and my gain that the Mayor of Vancouver is unable to be here this afternoon, and that I have the pleasure of presiding over this panel on housing for the poorest. I have been enormously stimulated, as I expect you have, by what is going on here in Vancouver in these days. I'm in love with this beautiful human city, churned up inside by a new and intensive awareness of the plight of the world's poor and the compelling call that it makes on you and me and our governments. I'm enriched by new friendships with great people from all over the world who have come here to share their insights and experiences with us and plead for our attention and our commitment. Such a person is Charles Correa. I've sat with him for 2 days and nights in the symposium which led up to the Vancouver Declaration. I have admired his brilliant mind, his very special clarity of expression, been warmed by his deep compassion, and with special delight been charmed by his bright, beautiful, and engaging wife, Monica. Where is she? There she is. He studied architecture in the United States at Michigan and MIT, has designed low-cost housing in the cities of India and South America, is chairman of the Housing, Urban Renewal and Ecology Board of Metropolitan Bombay, consulting architect for the planning of New Bombay. And in 1974, in recognition of his creative leadership, he was chosen by Time magazine as one of 150 persons around the world most likely to provide leadership to the world in the years ahead. And this was an accurate forecast by Time magazine. Time was right. It is a great pleasure to introduce to you a creative man of the world, Charles Correa.
Thank you, Jim. Our subject is housing for the poorest, which I will only try to introduce, and then Professor Hardoy or Dr. Hardoy will really give you the main talk. When we say housing for the poorest, I wonder, even as an architect living in India, it took me many years to understand what the poorest really meant. I think the best way I can illustrate this is by repeating a story which my friend Herman Samper, who I'm happy to see is in the audience, once told us. This was a few years ago. There were about 12 or 13 architects from all over the world called to Lima, Peru, and we were all asked to describe our own countries. And most of the architects were from, the rich world, from Europe, from North America, etc. So Herman, who is from Colombia, in Latin America, he went to the board and he made this drawing. Is this microphone live? Yeah. So he made a drawing and he said, my country is very much like a European one. In your countries, you have a pyramidal composition of society, the highest income groups, the middle income groups, and the low income groups. He said Colombia is the same thing. We have also a pyramidal society, the higher income groups, the middle income groups, and the lower income groups. And then we have the rest of the people. It's really Herman who should take a bow on that, because that's really a wonderful thing. And I tell you, it took me years. I am an architect.